Hey guys, so I'm in my Ford Maverick today, and today we're going to try out some fender flares. And these are aftermarket fender flares. We'll install them up and see what they look like. Alright, so this is by a company called Mabett. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mabett. Let's take a look what comes in the box. Okay, so these are the flares themselves. They're plastic. So hopefully it'll match the plastic on the truck well. But you'll use the pegs that are already on the car in addition to the double-sided tape that goes around. All right, that's what they look like. Let's see. What else? Here's the instructions, the pegs for you to put it back in. Instructions. And here's a pry tool. Okay, so let's give it a shot. All right, so according to the instructions, we're going to remove the pegs off of the current car. All right, so according to the instructions, we're going to move the pegs off of the truck and use the pry tool that they gave us. So I have mud flaps from an aftermarket mud flap, so we'll have to work around that too. All right, so we got them all off. Take a look. All the pegs are off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the edges with some rubbing alcohol first. All right. All right, so the next step is start to peel back the double-sided tape things, but don't do all of it, just kind of get it started, looks like, and then we'll peel it after we install it. Okay, so there's some front wheel ones and some rear wheel ones. You can see the front, it's going to be the one that's a little bit bigger because the back has this plastic that starts right there and it ends a little bit sooner. So that's how you know which one's the front and which one's the rear. The front ones are the ones that are slightly bigger. Okay, here's a look at the two. You can see one is slightly bigger than the other, and that's going to be the front one. Let's kind of put it up. Okay, that's the way it's going to look. So let's get the pegs in and give it a shot. All right, so it looks like I didn't need to take out all the pegs, only 5 of them. So I took out more than I needed to, so you could see it'll go over this area here, and there's a gap where you would use the old peg still. And this one would be the new peg. These are all old, and then down there would be the new one. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Okay, for this one right here, this is a nut. So the hole that we need for it is actually a nut in the front and not one of those pegs. So I'm going to take off that nut and then install it in. All right, so this one's a number 7. All right, now let's get the flares on. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started on the tape. All right, just got it started going. Now what I'm going to do, fit it in. What I need to do is I need to get my mud flaps in before I start putting in these pegs. So hopefully it's deep enough to cover. So if you look at the stock pegs, it's a little bit deeper. So actually, I'm going to use the stock ones because with with the mud flap, I don't think it's their peg goes deep enough with the mud flaps. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the tape. I'm not going to put all the pegs in just so that I have some gap to remove the tape. All right. Now we're just going to put all the pins in the pegs back. All right, it's a bit of a snug fit. It's in. Let's take a look at it. All right. That's what it looks like. Here's with the flare, and the back it's without. I think it looks pretty good. So let's do all four. Right, here's just another angle at the front and the rear. Before I put them all on. Okay, so one thing is if you do have these aftermarket mud flaps like I have, the pins will not be big enough that they give you. So I actually have some aftermarket ones that I needed to use like I did up here. All right. Okay, no issues if you don't have the mud flap, no problem. The pins fit in perfectly like these without the mud flap. There you go. I think it looks pretty good.